If you have mature skin, today I'm going to be showing you how I apply makeup in one single layer so I don't have to create too many layers one on top of the other to cake up. Hi everyone, it's Smita. Welcome back. If you enjoy educational makeup tutorials, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And now without further delay, let's begin. I've already prepped my skin with a primer and now I'm going to be using the Dermatone's Veil. This is by Ofra Cosmetics. This has different shades of concealers. You can also use individual concealers if you don't have a palette. I'm going to first pick a shade that's a close match to my skin tone. With this Milani concealer brush, I'm going to use that shade in areas where I have discoloration on my skin. Basically hyperpigmentation, dark circles, dark spots, anything to conceal. And then I'm going to use a shade that's lighter than my skin tone, at least 2 shades lighter. And I'm going to again use the same brush to apply it on the highest planes of my face. And then again using the same brush, I'm going to dip into a shade that's 2 shades darker than my skin tone. And that's going to be my contour shade. I'm going to use it to sculpt my face. So basically using it in the circumference of my face, in the hollows of my cheekbones, to sculpt my jawline as well as nose. Now this step is important. Before you blend this out, use a setting spray over your face. I'm using the Benefit Professional Super Setter, and the reason you do this is because the blending becomes so much more easier. I'm just using the same brush that I used for my concealers to blend everything out. The setting spray melts the makeup so beautifully, so when you blend everything out, it also looks seamless. At this point, I'm just focused on blending each shade of concealer one at a time, starting with the shade that was a close match to my skin tone. Once I've blended that out, which is a mid shade between the lighter and the deeper shade, I will move on to the lighter shade and blend that out. So I'll be blending out the highlighter shade before I move on to the contour shade, which is the deepest shade. And at this point with that small brush, I'm just focused on spreading out the concealer so it flows into the different shades. And once that's done, it's very easy to finally blend everything together so it looks seamless. You see how we just did that in one layer? We didn't have to layer it over a color corrector, then a foundation, and then the concealer. We're not doing that today. We're just going straight with the concealer. The 2 things I haven't included with the concealer is the blush and the highlighter, which I'll be mixing together and applying so it melts into whatever I've just applied on my skin. Now that we've taken care of spreading everything out, I'm going to blend this out, and for that I'm using a dry sponge, not a wet sponge, not a damp sponge. This is a dry sponge. A dry sponge will not absorb as much products from your face as will the wet sponge, and that's one of the reasons we want that coverage. At the same time, we want it to look seamless, so I'm using a sponge, but a dry one. You're welcome to use a brush as well, but for me, a dry sponge at this point works best. Now that everything looks melted into one another and we still see the dimension, we have the coverage, everything looks fantastic, but at the same time, it doesn't look cakey. It's time to mix the blush with the highlighter. I'm going to be using a liquid blush and a liquid highlighter. For blush, I'm going to be using the Blush Bomb in Savage Coral. This is by Revolution Beauty. And for highlighter, I'm going to be using Mesmerize by Rare Beauty. So I'm just taking a little bit of both in the back of my hands and I'm going to mix it up. With the same dry sponge, I'm going to press it on my cheeks. This is going to give you the most delicate glow while it flushes your cheeks. So it almost looks like you're blushing from within. We're done with the face. You can stop at this point if you like. But for me, unfortunately, the concealer tends to crease under my eyes and around my nostrils. So I'm going to be using the Pixi Translucent Powder. This is a very finely milled powder. And I'm going to be very lightly setting just in areas where I tend to crease. The Pixi Translucent Powder is very finely milled and very finely sifted. This is the kind of powder that I like because that's not going to cake up. I'm going to be using the setting spray one more time so it sets and locks my base makeup. And that's how you apply the base makeup in just one layer. Again, it's a new day. I'm going to be stepping out. So I'm going to be doing some light makeup on my face and I'm going to show you the completed look. First, using the Almay Brow Styler. This is a transparent brow gel. I'm just going to be using it to set my brows in place.
And
And then just in the sparse areas, I'm going to be using the Precisely My Brow Pencil by Benefit in the shade 4. Time to curl those lashes and apply a coat of mascara. I'm just going to be using the Lash Princess by Essence. Today I'm using a black mascara, but if it's for every day, I usually go with a transparent mascara because I tend to rub my eyes sometimes and you really can't tell if the mascara smudges. It doesn't look bad as it does with a black mascara. And of course, you can finish this look up the way you prefer. You can apply an eyeshadow, you can apply false lashes. I just wanted to show you the one layer base makeup. And on my lips, I'm going to be using the Glowing Lip by ColourPop in La Cienega. This is my lip color, but just an enhanced version, and it is very pretty. And here's the finished look, just a well put together polished look. It's going to look like you, but just a better version of you without caking up. And your skin is going to look like skin and as fresh as new. I hope you found this helpful, and if you try this technique, please don't forget to tag my socials listed down below. Thumbs up and subscribe to watch more videos, and stay tuned for an exciting playlist of beginner-friendly tutorials right after this one in the end screen of this video. I love you guys so much, and I will see you soon with a brand new one. Bye guys!